Hey everybody, this is going to be a tutorial slash walkthrough of um, what it's like to spawn in DayZ, what you should try to do from the get-go, what you should look for, and things along those lines. Basically, I'm trying to help you guys out, so if you're playing DayZ for the first time and you want to know what to do, this is where you want to be, and this is the video for you. So right now I'm spawned in basically with a bandage and a piece of fruit and a glow stick, which we probably won't need, but we'll just keep it for now. And what we want to do is we want to look for some new clothes, because as you can see, I'm in here with a t-shirt and a pair of pants, which are both in decent condition, but they only give you 12 slots and 20 slots. We want to get something that's warmer, and we want to get something that has more slots so we can carry more inventory. So right now we're spawned in Berezino, which is on the east coast of the map. And as you can see, it's called a coastal spawn. In the distance there's the water. You could also spawn on the south coast of Chernarus. Both are all tier 1 locations, meaning like you have all the remedial stuff in tier 1. So as you progress and you move inland, you'll find you'll have better weapons and better gear and so forth. So our main objective here is really to not stay on the coast. A lot of people make that mistake and they'll go up the coast, or they'll go east and west on the coast. What you really want to do is you want to get inland, because when you get inland, there's a couple of reasons why you want to go that way. First off, there's more gear available, so it's less looted. And secondly, you're going to find better gear as you get more inland. So our goal really is to, let's see if we can find some better clothes, maybe get some food, hydrate a little bit, because as you can see on my HUD, by default I'm yellow hydration and I'm yellow food. We want to get those up, because the higher they are, the more immunity you have, the healthier your character is, and the less likely it is for you to get sick. So ideally what we're going to try to do is avoid these zombies for now and try to see if we can find a little bit of gear and improve our situation. Okay, in this shed there's a couple of things that I see already. We got a double barrel BK-43, which I will take and put it on my shoulder. I'll just hit the triangle and that's going to put it on my back. And then what I'll do is I'll shortcut this by holding down the L3 button and choosing a location on the wheel. So it's now a shortcut. So if in case I want to go to my double barrel quickly, all I do is hold R1 down and push up, and the shotgun goes in my hand. To put it away, same thing, R1, push up, and hit X, and it goes away. I'm going to take this rope right now and put it in my inventory. There's a couple of reasons why I would want to pick up a rope. First and foremost, if I run into another player and I knock him unconscious, I can tie him up with this rope, and I can loot his inventory, and you know, if I choose to keep him alive and I don't kill him. There's another reason why you want to keep a rope. In the event that you want to build a base at some point, in order to build a fence kit, you will need a rope to do that. So it'll be 2 sticks and a rope, and you combine them, and that will be your starter for your fence kit. Also, we see here is the sewing kit. You always want to pick that up, because what you can do there is you can repair clothes if you find them. Okay, as a follow-up to our, last point of contact, we found a sewing kit. What I want to do is I want to take that sewing kit and combine it with this sweatshirt here. So as you see on the bottom, if we hold circle to combine it, what it's going to do is give us the option to patch that hoodie and bring it to a better condition. Now this hoodie's pretty badly damaged, so we're going to have to do this 2 times to bring it to a worn state. We'll do that one more time. And there you go. So now when we look at the hoodie, it is now in a worn condition. So we will take that, swap it out with our shirt. I'll drop the shirt on the ground, and I'm going to pick up the contents that are in the shirt that I want to keep. So right now we'll just keep everything, because I don't know what we're going to do down the road here. So until I need the space, I'm just going to grab everything. Okay, here's our first zombie. So if you encounter a zombie, what you want to do is you want to hold L2 down and put your hands and move backward, and it'll put your hands up in the air so the zombie cannot hit you. That's your defense mechanism. And if you haven't noticed by now, the zombies have a pattern of striking. They do a light strike and then they do a heavy strike. What you want to do is you want to hit them after the heavy strike. And what I'm doing right now is I'm doing a power hit by using the triangle at the top. And that's a little bit more effective than the single punch, which is L2 and then R2 together. Now to loot the zombie, what I do is I hit my touchpad and you can see if there's anything on the zombie. They currently have nothing, so we'll just move on. Also, one of the other things you want to do is when you find trees, especially early on in the game, you want to check around the bottom of the trees, the area around the bottom of the trees, because a lot of times they'll drop fruit. Here we have a tomato. So this is a dried tomato. So if you see a piece of fruit and it's in damaged condition, it usually means it's dried. And the only really thing that means is that it doesn't have any hydration. It still gives you calories. So if it's rotten, you don't want to eat it because you possibly will get sick. But when it's dried, we'll eat that, and then you'll see that my food is now starting to go up. Here we found a pair of jeans. They're probably going to be warmer than these pants. As you can see, my crop pants are warm. They have bad insulation. But if I look at the jeans, they're medium insulation in the same condition. So we'll drop our pants. We'll put these jeans on and then take the contents back into our inventory. Okay, another zombie encounter. Again, L2, pull back on our left analog stick so the hands go up. He strikes twice and hit him with triangle, the power stroke. You could also use the L2, R2 rather, and I'll show you. See, so they can do these individual hits as well, but there's more of a chance that they're going to hit you. Again, touchpad when you get on the zombie, and there's nothing in the inventory, so we can keep moving on. The alarm clocks, you could take them and you could set them. A lot of times what they'll do is if you set an alarm clock for a time that's near and you throw it near zombies, it's supposed to distract them. So how you do that is you hold R2 down and it's going to move the dial, and I'm just going to put it right past the hour, and then R2 again to set it. And then if I throw it someplace, it's supposed to distract the zombies. So I'm just going to throw it down here in this intersection. Had there been a zombie around and that thing goes off, it's supposed to take them away for you. Okay, here we have a well. This is really the only guaranteed freshwater source that's clean water. So anytime you find a well, ideally if you have a canteen or a water bottle or some kind of container, you want to fill it up. Cooking pot is another thing. You could fill it full of water. You want to use it to drink, and then you also want to use it to store water. Right now I'm just going to hold the square button down to drink water and try to get my hydration up. Quite oftentimes I'll just drink until I'm absolutely full, because this way I know I'll have enough water in my stomach and it'll continue hydrating me for a little while. You will get hydration from things that you eat along the way as well. But in this case, right now I just want to hydrate as much as I can while I'm here, because I don't know when I'm going to have the opportunity to drink again. As you can hear, my alarm clock just went off in the street. Had there been any zombies around, they should be attracted to that alarm clock. But zombies aren't within proximity, so it's not attracting them. And also, if you look down on the HUD, my stomach is now full. That just means that it's a warning saying if you continue to drink, which I will again, watch, you'll see it pop back up. It should come up any moment. It's letting you know if I continue to drink in this state, your body will start rejecting whatever you're putting in your stomach and you'll start throwing up. Here's a box of matches that's conveniently located here. I'm going to take that and put it in my inventory just in case I need to make a fire. It's just a little bit easier to make a fire when you have something to light it automatically. So now that I've killed that zombie, I'm going to take a couple things off. One, the hat, that's going to help keep me warm, and the backpack as well. The backpack's not in great shape, so I think what we'll do is we'll try to fix that up. Because when a zombie hits you, there's a good chance that they can ruin or damage the items that are on your person. So if they ruin my backpack any more than it is, there's a good chance it's going to go into a ruined state, and we don't want that to happen. So you're going to see the textures change on that backpack as soon as I get done fixing it. So now it's back to a worn state, and if you notice, my sewing kit is no longer, because once you exhaust the uses of the sewing kit, there is no more use for it, and it actually disappears from your inventory. Okay, I'm in the police station. There's a couple of things I want to look for in here. One is ammo or guns. Police station is a good place to find guns and ammunition for your weapons. So I just took this pair of handcuffs, so in the event that I find another player, I can actually handcuff them. And I can access their inventory once I do that. Okay, here's another weapon. It's a Scorpion. It actually does take this .380 ammo. So I am going to take this for the time being, and I'm going to chamber it by putting a round in here. I don't have a magazine for it just yet, but we're just going to chamber that as of right now, and that's the only gun that we have at the time being. Okay, we found an IJ. An IJ also takes .380 ammo. So again, this is another weapon I'm going to pick up and I'm going to hold, and I could chamber it one of two ways. I could go to my inventory and hold the circle to combine it, or I could just hold the triangle down on my controller, and that will chamber around for you. Again, just like before, I'm going to shortcut this, so I'm going to highlight it, hold L3 down, use this spot on my weapon wheel, hit X, and now that's shortcutted. So to put that away or to take it out, all I got to do is hold R1 down and select it. Okay, I found my first melee weapon. Melee weapon is what you're going to use to fight people with hand-to-hand combat, fight zombies with hand-to-hand combat. It's going to give you an advantage as opposed to just using your fists. Striking with a melee weapon will deliver more damage, potentially cut an opponent, and basically allow you to kill them a little bit quicker. So the melee weapon's not in great shape. If you look, it's in badly damaged condition. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to shortcut that in the place of my glow stick, and I'm going to put it away until I need it. We've also found a quilted jacket, which is a little bit warmer than what I'm wearing, plus it holds more slots. This is a 30 slotter. This is a 20 slotter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop my hoodie. I'm going to put the quilted jacket on, and I am going to pick up all my inventory once again, and I'm also going to pick up these 22 caliber rounds just in case I find a pistol or a sporter for the time being, which uses those types of rounds. Okay, we found our first sharp weapon. A knife is one of the most important things that you can have in DayZ. It allows you to do so many things: defend yourself, fight zombies, cut things up into rags, clothes. You can cut them up into rags and so forth. You can get bark off of trees. You can cut down bushes, and most importantly, it enables you to open cans of food. So when you find cans of food, most of the time they're going to be sealed. So you need a sharp object if you don't have a can opener to open cans of food. So you always want to grab any kind of a knife or a sharp weapon. A sickle happens to be one of those. So we're going to take that and keep it in our inventory in the event that we need to open up any kind of food down the road. Also at this point, I'm going to eat this piece of fruit that we spawned in with. It's in raw condition. It's just, worn shape. But this pear is not dried. It's a regular pear. If I eat it, what you're going to see is my hydration increase as well as my calories because it's not dried. It actually has, a hydration value to it. Okay, we're going to head northwest. We're going to try to get out of this coastal town, and we're going to head inland. And as we head inland, we're going to stop along the way and look at a couple of houses, try to find some loot. And just a little hint, you see these power lines? If you're lost in the woods or something like that and you see power lines will lead you to a town. So if you're lost, you don't know which way to go, always know that if you follow the power lines, eventually you will run into a town. Okay, we found some duct tape. Duct tape's another important thing to have early on. Duct tape helps repair stuff. You can create a splint with duct tape, so God forbid you break your leg. You need 2 small sticks and the duct tape. If you combine them together, you can create yourself a splint. Along the way in DayZ, if you wind up following around the roads, you're going to run into road signs just like this. And what they're trying to tell you is the direction that you need to head to get to the next town. When you see arrows, they're saying that the town is obviously to our right. If we don't see an arrow, it means if you stay on this road, it's 1 kilometer straight ahead. Now, obviously, if you're not Russian, you can't understand what this says. This is a perfect time to introduce an app to you guys, which is, in my opinion, essential for DayZ. It's called iZurvive. It's iZurvive. It's available in your app stores, whether you have a iPhone or you have a Android device. You need to download this app. It's a free app. It enables you to see the map of Chernarus or Livonia, or whatever other map that you're currently using if you're on PC. It will help translate these towns. So if I was to have iZurvive open right now and I was to look at the search bar and I typed in XE, it will tell me the location of that town and what that town's name is. I know that this is called Kelm in English, but for right now, we're not going to head to Kelm. We're just going to head west of Kelm. But iZurvive is essential, guys. You definitely want to locate that app and get it on your phone if you don't have it already. Okay, guys. Inside this shed, I've located a hatchet. If I put the hatchet in my hands, I can see that this hatchet is in pristine condition. The hatchet that I have in my inventory is in badly damaged condition. So obviously we want to take the pristine one, so I'm going to drop the badly damaged one by holding down the square. I'm going to remap the pristine hatchet by holding down L3 and choosing the location of my old hatchet, hitting X, and now I have a much better condition hatchet in my inventory and ready to use. Okay, at this car, we've located some food. Dog food, you don't need to open. It's just a pull tab on the top. Like, we don't need a sharp object or can opener to open it. So if I just hit R2, we open it up, and we've got food to eat. As you notice, my hydration and my food are now going up. This is going to help me for a little while. Okay, so we're full. We just want to stop eating for the time being. and we're going to have a look around. Okay, we found some alcohol tincture at the well. This will help disinfect your clothes, rags, and so forth. Since we made some rags, if we look at them, they're probably not disinfected. So now if I combine the alcoholic tincture with the rags by holding down the circle, I get the option to disinfect. So I'm going to hold R2 down, and that is going to disinfect my rags. So now if I look at my rags, they're disinfected. And why is this important? If I didn't have a bandage and I had to bandage myself using the rags, if they're not disinfected, you run the risk of getting any kind of blood poisoning or getting sick. If you use disinfected rags, that's not going to happen. So it's important to disinfect your rags when you have the opportunity to do so. So now, while I'm at the well, I'm just going to continue drinking again. I probably won't be able to drink too much because we just ate a bunch of dog food. So I might be able to get like 6 or 7 sips in. But it's more important that I grab the hydration here than it is that I grab the food, because the food I could take with me, the well you can't. Okay, I think now we want to head inland and try to see if we could find any more gear. If we follow this road, there's probably going to be some sort of an establishment up ahead. Okay, we might as well take this opportunity to finish our food that we started eating before. So there's still some left. So see if we can get that food icon to increase and go into the white. And also at this time, it's probably good to mention stamina bar is on the lower left hand side. And if you're on a vanilla server that's not modded, the more gear that you put on your body, you can see that that white line does not go all the way to the right. That's because we're carrying more inventory, we're carrying guns, we're carrying heavier things that are going to weigh us down. So the more stuff you carry, the less stamina you're going to have overall. So as you notice, if I start running by pushing L3 down, see how that stamina bar goes down? When it goes all the way down to the bottom, then you're not going to have any more stamina to run, and you're going to have to stop and go into a little bit of a trot and allow that stamina to creep back up. Also important to mention at this point, the more you run, the more it's going to draw from your hydration and your food. So if you notice on the HUD in the lower right now my hydration and my food is not decrementing that much. But if I start running, you see how that draws on it a little bit more? So it depends on what you want to do. If you need to conserve energy, you probably just want to do a little trot, and it's not going to draw as much from your hydration and your food. Okay, so now we've come to what looks like a summer camp. The doors are shut. That's not an indication that it's safe to come in here, but maybe somebody has not been here. So we're going to check these cabins and see if we can find anything useful. Here we find the sniper rifle. I don't have one of those yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some space and I'm going to take this gun and bring it down into my jacket so I can put this gun, which takes 27 slots, into my inventory. So the slots on your inventory on your back, they're pretty much unlimited. So whatever you could stick on your back, it doesn't matter what the size is, you could always just throw it on your back. So instead of putting it in my jacket, which would have taken up 27 slots of availability, I put it on my back. It doesn't take up any availability. Okay, so it looks like we're at a summer camp. In summer camps, you typically find a lot of hunting gear, knives, shotgun rounds, scopes for sniper rifles, sometimes sniper rifles, bear traps, things along those lines. This is a good place to find some warmer clothes. Here we have some chlorine tablets. I'm going to pick those up. What this enables us to do is fill up a container with any kind of water, combine it with those chlorine tablets, and it's now drinkable water. Oh, and look, I found a hunting scope. just my luck, because I have a sniper rifle here that needs one. So I just grabbed that by putting X. I'll just do it again. So if I highlight it, hold down X, R1 to bring it over, directional pad to bring it down to where I want to drop it, let go of X, and bam, it's on my gun now. So if I look at my sniper rifle, now I have a scope on it. If I hit R3, you can see now I can scope in on my enemies or any kind of animals. Okay, here we find a hunter jacket in one of the cabins. A hunter jacket is pretty warm, and it has 42 slots as opposed to the 30 that I have in this quilted jacket. But the problem is, that's also white. I don't know that you want to be using a white jacket in a survival type situation. So I'm going to leave that here. Also, if anyone that's new to the game, a compass. This is good to pick up, and it can tell you what direction you're heading. So right now, what we want to do is we want to head west. We're fairly north already, so we want to head west and loot some more of these cabins and see if there's something else we can find. But I'm going to hold on to this just for the tutorial. Okay, we found the knife. Definitely going to take that. What that's going to enable me to do is to drop this larger sickle. So I get the same functionality from the knife as I do the sickle. Just going to keep that in our inventory. Oh, and look here. Winchester rounds. Those are hard to find, so we're going to keep those. We don't have a gun that shoots that just yet, but we're going to keep that. Oh, I have a zombie that's aggroed on me, so take my hatchet out again. L2, and pull back on the left analog to block, and then we're going to hit him with our triangle to power hit him. Aim for the head as always. And close by we have a chicken. What we're going to do is we're going to hit that chicken with the hatchet and kill it. Okay, so now that the hen is dead, so you have the option, since I have a sharp object in my hand, we can skin and quarter that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice this chicken up, and it's going to give us some food. So if I hit my touchpad, you can see that it gave me a few different things. It gave you bones, some chicken steaks, so I'm going to take those chicken steaks. And I'm also going to keep these feathers, because if I do find a crossbow, I could use these feathers to make arrows. And last but not least, these bones. You can actually take these bones, and if you look, we can craft a bone knife. So if I hit R2, out of these bones, if you don't have a knife, well, guess what? Well, I don't know how you would have cut up the chicken at that point, but you can create a second knife. So if you look on the ground, I still have one bone left. So out of the three, 2 bones created this bone knife. And if you also look at my hands, since I don't have gloves, my hands are now bloody. We don't want to have bloody hands. So what we can do is, since we're by a water source, I have an option to wash my hands. So I'm going to hold R2, and I'm going to clean my hands off. Because if I was to eat anything with dirty hands or bloody hands, I could get a real nasty sickness. If you guys noticed, I was sitting in a pool of water while I was killing that chicken and cutting it up. So if you notice on my HUD right now, I have a water symbol. That means I'm wet. So if I hit my touchpad and I want to look at my clothes, it's probably going to be my pants and my shoes. My pants aren't wet, but my shoes probably are wet. See, my shoes are now drenched. So that's going to contribute to my body temperature going down. The only way really to get your clothes dry in a hurry is by making a fire and placing the items next to the fire. But we'll take care of that in a little bit. Right now I'm going to loot this box of 308, which is a great find. So I'm going to hold on to that. And you can see the box is in pretty bad shape. But if I unpack it by using R2, the ammo should be in pristine condition. And if I check that, it is. So we're going to keep those rounds. And here's a GPS receiver. If you're unfamiliar with where you are on the map, one of the couple ways you could try to find out where you are is by holding this GPS receiver, and in official, you probably have to use this in conjunction or in combination with the tourist map. It'll tell you the exact location that you are on the map. So we'll hold on to this for now. Oh, looky here. So what we found is a blaze. A blaze actually does shoot that 308 ammo and is much better than the CR527. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the blaze, hit the triangle, it's going to put it in my inventory, but don't leave just yet, because this hunting scope, we're going to need that. So I'm going to hit X, drag that over to my blaze, and place it on the blaze. So now I have a potent sniper rifle that shoots 308 rounds, and I have a 308 on me. So there's a couple ways you can load your gun. You could put it in your hands and go down to my ammo and hold circle to combine, or the easy thing to do is just hold triangle, and it's going to put 2 rounds in my blaze. So if you look at the lower left, now my blaze has 1 in the chamber, actually 2 in the chamber, because you could either shoot this 1 shot at a time, or if I hold L2 down and hit X, I could go to double shot and fire both rounds at the same time. This is very potent, but it blows through your 2 rounds of ammo instantly. Okay, just found the box of rifle slugs. If we unwrap these, you're going to see they're green rounds. So we got a box of 10 slugs. So the shotguns will shoot 3 different types of rounds. You have the rubber slugs, which really are pretty useless in my opinion. All they'll really do is will knock out an opponent or zombie. Buckshot, which are the red rounds, which shoot buckshot obviously. Those are pretty potent, and I like it because it shoots a spread instead of just shooting 1 projectile. And you have the green rounds, which we just found, they're called the slugs. These just shoot projectiles. They're very deadly, but you have to be spot on with them. There's no room for error. So we're going to load those into our double barrel right now. So just like we did with the blaze, put it in our hands, hold triangle down, and that's going to load 2 green rounds into the double barrel. Okay, we just found a hunter jacket, and it's not white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hunter jacket, I'm going to repair it with this duct tape that I found. I'm going to combine it by holding the circle down. And it's pretty badly damaged, so we're going to have to fix this thing twice. So now the jacket should be in worn condition, which it is. And I'm going to go over to our jacket, hold square to drop it, move over with the L1 button to the hunter jacket, hit triangle to put that on, and now I'm going to reclaim everything that was in the jacket. So I have more inventory space now, I have a nice warm jacket, and it's not white. Oh, look at here. We just found a hunter backpack in pristine condition. So we're going to drop this not mountain backpack, this hiking backpack by holding square down, move over L1 to the hunter backpack. I'm going to hit the triangle to put that on, and I'm going to reclaim all my inventory again into the hunter backpack, which happens to have 21 more slots in the hiking backpack. And it's more camouflage than wearing a blue backpack on your back. Just found some more Winchester rounds. So if you notice, I already have some badly damaged rounds that are in here. If I just hover them both, they're like rounds, so I can hold circle down and combine those. Instead of having a 3 and a 2, now I have 5, I can put those away. Oh, here's a tourist map, just like I was saying before. You take the tourist map, and if you open it by hitting R2, it's going to give you a whole outlook of where you could be in Chernarus. I know where we are right now. We're in Kelm. But it's not going to tell us we're in the Kelm hunting camp because we do not have a battery in the GPS. So this is Kelm right here. This is where we're at in this hunting camp. As you can see, there's no marker in here because we don't have a battery for that GPS just yet. Okay guys, after a short break, we're now back and it happens to be nighttime on the server. So I'm going to show you really quickly how to survive at night. Ideally, we have a couple things that we have on our person that we can use to light the night. One is a road flare, which is pretty bright. The other is a glow stick, which is not as bright as the road flare, but it does the trick for short distances. And then the other thing I'm going to show you is how to make a torch and how to use a torch, which is really the best thing to use for, you know, adding light at nighttime. But it also does make you visible. So, okay. Yeah, so, okay, so while we wait for the server to come back online, so what I was saying is when you use a light utility at night, the downside to doing that is if anyone is in proximity of your player, you know, and I don't mean like 10, 15, 20 meters away, but if someone is a couple 100 meters away, that light source that you have on you, the brighter it is to help you, the more visible it's going to be in the distance. So we just want to keep that in mind, that if it's a heavy populated server or there's a lot of PvP action, meaning player versus player action that's going on nearby, what you probably want to do is not carry something that's going to give away your position. So use that light source only when needed or in dire situations. I wouldn't just use it arbitrarily. You know, if you can see somewhat, you're better off just going without it. But I'm going to show you how to create one just the same. Okay, so now we want to make a torch. So we need to find a bush that we can cut down and get a long stick. Here we go. So we want to hold R2 down. Okay, now we have a long stick on the ground. So I'll put my knife away. I'll put the long stick away. And now we want to find some clothes or bandages to use to put on the edge or the very end of this torch. Okay, here's a hunter jacket. It's in worn state. I already have a hunter jacket, so what we're going to do, hopefully I can convert this into, and you can't, or can you? Yeah. Yes, I can craft rags. So some jackets won't allow you to craft rags, but this one does. Alright, so now we're crafting rags. Now I have 3 rags on the ground. There's no more jacket, so if I put this stick in my hand and I highlight the rags and hold combine, it's going to give me the option to craft a torch. So we're going to hold R2 down and we're going to craft this torch. So now I have a torch. Okay, so for the purpose of this exercise, I'm going to put my glow stick away so you can see how much better a torch is than a glow stick. So now I have the torch in my hand with 3 rags on it, and I'm going to go to my matches in my inventory, and I'm going to hold circle to combine them, and it's going to ask me if I want to ignite it, which I do. So I'm going to hold R2 down, and now we have a light source that's much brighter, and you can see how much brighter it is outside. But you know, as I alluded to while we wait for the server to restart, this light source is super bright for us, and it also makes us a lot more visible to other people that are in the area or just off in the distance. So just keep that in mind. It's, like I said, it's very helpful for you, but also helpful for the enemy. Right now we're going to continue to push west. There is a castle in the distance where we can find possibly some different sniper rifles, maybe a bear trap or something like that. So I'm just gonna run to the west for a bit and we'll pick it up there.